Stop me if you've heard this before. Formula One is the fastest growing sport in the world. Well, F1's 2024 financials are in, and the numbers show that its growth is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. Formula One had another banner year in 2024. The world's most popular racing series recently reported $3.65 billion in annual revenue. That's a 14% increase from F1's $3.2 billion in 2023 revenue, and the fourth consecutive year of top-line growth. Formula One is seeing gains across the board. Last year, viewership, media rights, ticket sales, sponsorships, and hospitality experiences all increased. The sport's 24-race schedule averaged over 85 million viewers across linear and digital platforms, and a recent Nielsen report estimates that there are now over 750 million F1 fans worldwide, almost 10% of the entire global population. This success has fundamentally changed Formula One's business. Cadillac and its ownership group recently agreed to pay a $450 million anti-dilution fee to become F1's 11th team in 2026, agreeing to invest billions more in the development of their car. Furthermore, luxury brand LVMH, which owns brands like Louis Vuitton and Tag Heuer, signed a major sponsorship deal this offseason that could be worth over $1 billion in 10 years. And Formula One finished the year with $2.6 billion in cash and liquid investments on hand. As a result, Formula One stock has risen 29% in the last year and 244% over the last 5 years. Liberty Media also purchased Formula One at an enterprise value of $8 billion in 2017, but the racing series now trades at an enterprise value of $30 billion. That's a 275% increase in just 8 years. Now, I want to be transparent here. I purchased F1 stock in 2020. It's sort of an immaterial part of my portfolio, but I haven't sold it yet because I think it will go higher, and I'll tell you why. What initially excited me about Formula One's business is that it's an incredibly complex sport with a ton of upside, yet it's also still relatively simple to understand financially. So, let's break it down. Formula One isn't your typical sports league. They don't own the teams, they don't own the cars, and they don't own the racetracks. Instead, it's more of a licensing model. Race promoters all over the world pay Formula One between $20 million to $60 million annually for a spot on its 24-race calendar. In turn, these race promoters maintain the racetrack, they sell hospitality packages, and they broker local sponsorship deals. This model leaves a little bit of money on the table for Formula One as a business, but more importantly, it allows F1 to focus on two things: sales and audience growth. Formula One leverages its global audience to empower its sales team. This includes race promoter agreements, sponsorship contracts, and comprehensive media rights deals. Formula One's status as a global motorsport allows the organization to broker media rights agreements with over 70 broadcast partners in 180 countries. Trackside sponsorship signage is negotiated at the league level, leaving promoters with cheaper secondary inventory. These sponsorships are large. LVMH, DHL, and Crypto.com collectively pay Formula One over $150 million annually, and the multi-year agreements typically include fee increases over time, helping Formula One accurately forecast top-line revenue growth. The 2025 Formula One calendar includes 24 races in 21 countries on 5 continents. This gives Formula One plenty of inventory to work with, and since hosting agreements and sponsorship deals are typically negotiated on a multi-year basis, Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali says that the sport currently has a whopping $14.4 billion in future revenue contracted. However, it's important to note that Formula One's business was not always this efficient. When Liberty Media acquired the sport in 2017, it was trending in the wrong direction. Sure, the audience was massive, but it was also declining. Formula One's TV audience dropped 40% from 600 million global viewers in 2008 to 350 million in 2016. F1's former leader, Bernie Ecclestone, also didn't care about developing young fans of the racing series. Ecclestone infamously told Campaign Asia Pacific magazine, quote, "I don't know why people want to get the so-called young generation. Why do they want to do that? Is it to sell them something? Most of these kids haven't got any money. I'd rather get to the 70-year-old guy who's got plenty of cash. So, there's no point trying to reach these kids because they won't buy any of the products here, and if marketers are aiming at this audience, then maybe they should advertise with Disney." End quote. To make matters worse, Formula One had almost no presence in the United States. Teams were going out of business, and nearly everything, from media rights to sponsorship contracts to hosting agreements, was severely undervalued given the sport's large global audience. Given Formula One struggles in 2017, Liberty Media had to take on a few $1 billion of debt to make the transaction happen, but the results were almost immediately better. Today, most people will talk about how Formula One's Drive to Survive partnership with Netflix changed the game, and that definitely helped, but there is so much more to this story than meets the eye. Liberty Media understood 21st century consumption habits, eliminating archaic rules that prevented drivers and team personnel from posting official footage on social media. Believe it or not, Lewis Hamilton used to get cease and desist letters from Formula One for posting clips of his races on social media. Yeah, the policy was that bad, like really bad. Liberty Media's idea was simple here. People connect with other people, and if Liberty Media wanted to grow the sport, the 20 drivers, not the teams, needed to be the main attraction. Liberty Media changed some of the sport's regulations to tighten up the field. They also launched a streaming service called F1 TV, which I think is probably the best option in sports because American fans can access every practice, every qualifying session, and every race session, along with pre- and post-race coverage, for just $7 a month or $85 a year. These factors helped Formula One become even more popular than it already was. For example, Formula One added nearly 30 million followers on social media last year alone, going from 70.5 million in 2023 to 97 million social media followers today. That makes Formula One not only the world's most popular sports league on social media, but also the fastest growing. Liberty Media has created an incredible business model. Implementing a cost cap, similar to the salary cap seen in American sports, has made its team safe and also solvent. Nearly every Formula One team on the grid is now profitable, with some teams making more than $100 million in annual operating profit. This success has fundamentally changed how Formula One teams are valued in the market, with smaller teams like Haas reaching billion-dollar valuations, while the bigger teams such as Ferrari or Mercedes are now pushing $3, $4, and even $5 billion valuations soon. Formula One teams make a lot of money through their own sponsorship deals, but F1 also distributes a percentage of the prize money to its teams. These payouts reached $1.16 billion in 2023 and went up to $1.22 billion last year. Formula One will soon have to negotiate a new agreement with its teams, but this shared revenue model is mutually beneficial for everyone. Liberty Media is currently negotiating a new American media rights deal. This is sort of an interesting situation because Formula One initially gave its US media rights to ESPN for free in 2017. That eventually led to a $5 million per year deal in 2020 and a $90 million per year deal in 2023. However, with each Formula One race now averaging over 1 million viewers in the US, Formula One is looking for $160 million to $180 million annually for its US TV rights, according to Sports Business Journal. Now, ESPN might not be able to go that high without adding commercial breaks. ESPN currently monetizes the content through a presenting sponsor, but that's not to say that Formula One won't eventually get that number. Liberty Media has reportedly been in talks with NBC, while Netflix and Apple also make a lot of sense given the sport's global reach. Netflix has also been the home to Drive to Survive, and Apple is set to release the F1 movie starring Brad Pitt this summer. Regardless though, Formula One is clearly on the right track. Pun absolutely intended. Over 6.5 million fans attended races last year, with some weekends drawing more than 400,000 fans over 3 days. Global TV viewership is also growing, with 1.6 billion viewers last year, a 6.7% jump from 1.5 billion viewers in 2023. The nice thing about F1's business model is its evenly distributed revenue mix. Media rights currently account for 32.8% of its total revenue, hosting agreements account for 29.3%, and sponsorships sit at 18.6%. That sponsorship number should also increase due to audience growth, increased inventory for more races, and contractually obligated fee step-ups. We are not far removed from the 2023 report that Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund, PIF, tried to buy Formula One for over $20 billion. Liberty Media obviously didn't sell the business, and in hindsight, that seems like the right move. Formula One has a $30 billion market cap today, and its growth doesn't appear to be slowing down anytime soon.